Learning to prompt is one of the most important skills we can develop when engaging with AI models such as ChatGPT. The quality and the content that we put in will dictate the quality of the output that we get out. So let's have a quick look at how we should structure our prompt. Now, this is mainly for a prompt that you're going to reuse. If you're having a dialogue with ChatGPT, you can often get away with getting it to ask you questions and you answer and working through the process. But if you're doing a task repetitively, such as writing a fundraising email, it's better to invest the time in creating a well-structured prompt that you can reuse again and again. So let's have a look at the structure. We recommend using Markdown. Now, Markdown is a markup language. I don't know why it's called that. Anyway, all you really need to know is #1 is a heading 1. That dictates a hierarchy. We're doing 2 hashtags, and this is now heading 2. 3 hashtags, heading 3, etc., etc. Double asterisk indicates bolding. And that's about it. That's the only parameters that I use. I will use the heading 1 to indicate the name of the prompt, heading 2 for sections within the prompt, heading 3 if there's subsections, or sometimes I'll use the double asterisk to bold a section. So let's have a look at a bit of a framework. I always start with the instructions. So describe the task that the AI model needs to do. Be very clear and to the point about what it is. You are creating a fundraising email for a nonprofit organization. Act as is where you can describe the personality or the expertise of this model. Who should they mimic in terms of what type of knowledge they have in completing the task? Input parameters can be done in a range of ways. You can either have a section like this and then have subsections, or each subsection could be its own section. For example, context or constraints or target audience. But this is where we're providing more information about who we are and any relevant information that the AI model may need. My favorite analogy for AI is imagining that it's the most intelligent assistant that you've ever had. They've come in passionate and they're keen to help, but they need context to be able to do their job well. If you're a nonprofit organization and you ask your assistant to write me a fundraising email on their first day, they may be able to do it, but it's not going to be very good. But if you explain to them who you are, what your organization mission and vision is, what your values are, the way that you communicate, and provide some examples from previous fundraising emails, all of a sudden what they produce is going to be of much higher quality. The exact same applies with AI. And that leads us to the example section. These AI models work with pattern recognition. So if you can provide examples from previous fundraisers, you will get much better output. And the last section is just to describe the output. How many paragraphs do you want? Do you want call to actions within that? Do you want a button, etc.? So let's have a look at an example one. We've got a fundraising prompt. The instructions are: your task is to write a fundraising email tailored to effectively communicate the needs and goals of a nonprofit organization to potential donors. Now, in the Act As section, we've got a fundraising expert, but we've brought in an interesting twist, adapt to the psychology behind charitable giving. This is a very emotive task in terms of giving money to a not-for-profit. So we would like this expert to be able to utilize their experience in psychology to engage the donor to take action. Here we have context as a single section, but we've got organization name, mission, vision, fundraising target, deadline, and our target audience all as subtopics. We've got a communication style with a couple of words here, but if you had a more in-depth communication style, this is where you could put it. We then have our section for examples with an example from a previous email, and then the output format. Please write an email with 3 paragraphs incorporating 2 calls to action within the copy. Conclude with space for 1 button at the end, linking to the donation page. So you can see that there's a lot that goes into prompting. But for a prompt that you're going to use again and again, it pays to invest into setting it up right. Using this type of formatting ensures that the AI model can understand and comprehend the task at hand and provide the best quality output. So give it a go. Try and create your own Markdown formatted prompt. And if you get stuck, you can always ask AI for help. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.